This episode of Calgary Basement Sessions is sponsored by Cornerstone Music Cafe.
For more information on Cornerstone, visit cornerstonemusic.ca. Hey, welcome to Calgary Basement Sessions. I'm Ben Price.
And I'm Ben Montgomery.
And today we're talking to two-thirds of Vina After Dark. Vina After Dark's warm siren vocals will raise goosebumps across your skin as you head nod to, it's already happening, to chilled out drums, groovy bass, and ethereal crying guitar lines. I practiced that earlier because I screwed it up when I did it. In early 2018, Vina After Dark began as a singer-songwriter known for her stage presence and unresolving style that pairs minimalist guitar lines with honeyed melodies, driving songs as a pensive pace into sweet melancholia. What a collection of words that is. By 2019, Vina After Dark acquired a full-bodied sound and an instant appeal with Dav's twinkling guitar riffs and bass-playing groove that borrows from Victor Wooten and Juan Nelson.
Yes.
Juan Nelson. Thank you. Funk rhythm and a whole lot of head-nodding fun came onto scene when Defont.
Yeah.
No E. Why even have the E there? That's my question. Words like that confuse me. Complex fills in idiosyncratic timing that are as dynamic as they are purely based on feel. Though contemporary pop is at the core of Vina After Dark's music, their creative tonal range is achieved through the careful and playful knitting of trip hop.
Trip hop.
Yeah,
Trippy.
We'll talk about
It's
it.
hoppy.
It's hoppy. Soul, R&B, and jazz, and even folk. I put my own "and" in there. Just read what's on the page, you know? And if you're lyrically focused, you're in luck. Think Emily Haynes' Acuity. This is going really well. With Nina Simone's tender sparseness, electrifying guitars and synths add textural layers that radiate an ethereal edge. These, along with effortlessly celestial vocals, achieve a unique airiness that is subtly grounded by elements beyond that of drums and bass.
Oh, good job.
Thank you.
Hey, well done.
So, let's put that back there because that's where our notes are.
Yes. Thank you
First
so
of all-
much for being
Yeah,
here.
thank you.
Our
Thanks
pleasure.
for having
Yeah,
us.
thank
Yeah.
you. I'm just gonna.
I saw the glass switch.
You did.
That was swift.
I'll edit it out, but it's there.
Very casual.
First of all, lot of words in there.
A lot of words.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a word thing where you're in Word, you write it out and you're like, what synonym can I use to make this sound
I'm
You
better?
so
just
glad
typed
you have
every
a
word in
theater background.
Yeah. Someone's a creative writer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either
that's-
that or you've just had the thesaurus out constantly.
yes.
Just like, yeah.
Definitely not written by a normal musician. I can tell you that much.
Any normal musician's like, yeah, we're a band. We have 4 people.
Exactly.
One plays the drums, one plays guitar, singer, and our songs are good.
Buy our stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's our EP. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, love the bio.
Yeah, it's a good bio. We like that bio. We've talked about bios before.
We have. I get really angry at people about their bios because sometimes not yours. Of course.
Okay, I was ready for her scolding.
I think we're walking out now.
The door.
Sometimes you're reading a bio and it just goes on for hours, and there's information in there that I just don't care to know.
It's just it's information that's just not needed in the bio.
Yeah.
Maybe put it in your one sheet.
Yes.
You know.
But a bio, no. So.
That's interesting because it's a really hard thing to write, I find.
Oh, a bio? Terrible.
It's very- yeah.
I'm glad I didn't have to write it this time. I assisted with comments here and there, but
Definitely.
I like
Translated.
That he's now like pawning it off.
Yeah.
I didn't have
know.
anything to do with
All
that
of
bio.
the
Yeah.
arrows.
I definitely wrote this. She wrote that all on her own. So.
Oh my gosh. To be fair, it was like a group effort for like 2 hours with Defont included.
Yep.
And they're just sitting there. I have the laptop. I'm like, okay, this is what I just wrote. I'm like, what's a better word than celestial? Because I've used that 3 times.
I think that's as high as you can go. Celestial.
Yeah,
What else
celestial.
comes after
No.
that?
What is
I
it?
love
What is it?
puns.
Melancholia.
Melancholia.
That's a good word. That's a good word.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very suitable adjective for my previous life as a musician.
Yeah. That word just makes me a wee bit hungry for melon.
Melancholia?
Melons. I do like melons.
Some cantaloupe.
Honeydew. Oh, you're a cantaloupe person.
Oh,
I prefer
love
water.
cantaloupe.
Water.
Oh yeah, he loves watermelon.
I love
I'm not a fan
watermelon.
of watermelon. It tastes like cucumber to me. I don't know why.
Eh?
'Cause
You
they're
like
both-
cucumbers?
they're okay.
It's like
Tastes like
pretty
cucumber.
much you.
You don't like watermelon, but
No,
you
she
love
loves cucumber and watermelon.
I love
Okay. Two
cucumbers
things.
and watermelon.
Yeah,
Cucumber and everything.
Very different taste buds.
I'll gobble that shit up.
See, I've got a sweet tooth, you know, and I should like
Let me
watermelon.
taste.
But no, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of watermelon. Never have been. You know, I don't know.
What
it is.
about it throws you off?
It just tastes like
It's
nothing.
delicious.
Yeah.
So
it's
when-
crispy, but it's
Yes.
soft. It's juicy.
So
it's sweet.
refreshing.
It's refreshing.
It
as
goes
all
with so
hell.
many
Color
things.
is unusual.
Yeah. You know what? You know, you've both convinced me. I'm gonna give it a
Okay.
try again.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
know.
I'm gonna bring a watermelon here,
Please
like
do.
next week.
And
Please do.
throw it at him.
Yes.
It's not worth the waste. Not worth the waste.
Like that guy in the Guinness Book of World Records, just head banging like watermelons.
That's
Have you seen? We'll
Was
talk
he a
about
drummer?
music. I swear. I think it's Amazing Race Canada, but it might be just regular Amazing Race. But they're doing a challenge, and they have like these huge slingshots. It was a medieval thing, so I'm sure there's a word for it. Yeah, you've seen it.
I saw it.
And they're flinging watermelons, and
Yes,
they're trying
yes.
to hit like people out in the field. Not really people, but she lets it go, and it gets
Oops.
stuck in the thing
Yeah.
at the end and comes right back and
I
pounds
saw
her in
that.
the face.
No way.
They
Oh.
slow-moed it, and
Yeah.
you just see it go.
The watermelon engulfs her face and then breaks.
Oh my god. That's
That-
awesome.
It's not. She has to be messed up now.
Yeah.
God.
That's one concussion for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, definitely,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Wow, I've never seen that. Let's watch that.
We
after.
will find that for you
Yeah.
because wow.
Well, have you seen that video? It's like a news report, and it was like a news reporter, and she was like squashing grapes with her feet.
Yeah, falls out of the bucket.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I saw this as well.
Oh, you did not see this.
She got winded, so she can't breathe. She's going oh, it's good stuff.
Oh man, making wine.
And
Yeah.
that's the end of the podcast. Thank you very much
Yeah.
for coming.
Wow. It's been 20 minutes. No time for music.
Really?
Thanks so much. But you do play music.
You do play music.
So-
We do
Sort of.
occasionally, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
occasionally.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so let's talk about music. So let's talk about your first EP
I love the name.
Yeah.
I have to say.
from the basement. Not this basement.
Not this basement, but a basement. And I don't care what
Some-
basement it is.
From the basement. That
Love
EP,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was it recorded in a basement?
It was, yeah.
Hence the
This
name.
was the basement that I used to live in, and we recorded pretty much everything there.
Yeah.
It was freezing cold, and we finished the EP just a month before we moved out. So we thought we'd pay tribute to the basement where a lot of this
From the
music
basement.
happened
Nice.
with that EP name.
Now,
Yay.
were you just in the basement? You lived in just the basement?
I had my apartment too.
Upstairs.
No.
Okay.
That would have been a wicked story.
But was there
But,
someone upstairs?
There
for
was
you?
somebody upstairs.
Is that why you had to move out?
Uh,
I
Partially.
feel
Partially, I
like
would say.
musicians who have upstairs neighbors or downstairs neighbors don't last long in whatever house they're in.
That
That's
was
true.
definitely part of it.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you don't make friends by playing music in a rented
Nope,
basement or
not
up
at
floor.
all.
So
Well, it's a wee bit easier for guitar players. Like, it's terrible for drummers.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
drummer, like,
I agree.
you just cannot practice
can't.
anywhere. If you're in an apartment,
Yeah.
it's pretty much
Yeah,
gone.
yeah.
You need to change instrument.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Really.
Now I play
Change your
triangle.
career.
Shut up!
Okay, over to cowbell.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm a professional.
Yeah. More cowbell.
More cowbell. Can be more cowbell.
Yeah, so that was from the basement, and then Us Versus is the other one that came out during the summer. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Us Versus. That's an interesting name. Why did you pick that name? Us Versus.
Because
So
from the basement was already taken.
that is true. We were gonna say us versus the basement, and we won. But the more clever answer is that each song in the EP features a conflict. Us versus loneliness. Us versus ourselves. Us versus belief. Us versus war. Us versus love. And then hopefully at the end of that collection of songs, people be like, "Is it really us versus? Is it always us versus, or maybe it's just us?" Like,
Nice.
yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's actually quite a cool concept. Yeah, I do quite like that. Yeah.
too
Well-
surprised. I've had
Oh my god,
seen
that's
that.
fantastic.
many album names in my life.
Oh,
I'm actually really impressed with this.
He only took one dig at you for being
that
a
was
drummer,
deep
okay?
as hell. Deep as hell, that.
That was very deep.
Yeah.
That was very deep.
He's wiping away a tear.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Turns to the side.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
It's dust, I think, in my
Us
eye.
versus tears.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. But I tell you what, so it says here, your first EP, it's a solo set of raw single takes. So is it EP is it just single takes and just like in a oneer?
Yeah.
That's another really cool concept. I've never really heard
what
of
was
a band or an artist doing that before.
I can't remember what we were, because I think, were you just practicing? I can't remember.
Yes.
No, we were recording. I can't remember. We were recording vocals for Us Versus. So we had rented a nice mic, and
it was
just thought we would like take the opportunity to just record so many other songs that wouldn't be on the EP
for fun.
And so those were just all single takes of Vina with the guitar, and I'm just at the computer clicking away. So
Nice.
Musicians playing songs for fun. That sounds dumb.
Yeah. And there was a point where he was fixing his motorbike out in the garage, and he came back in, but I was in the middle of one of the songs, and so apparently he just stood right on the stairway and just waited for me.
yes, that is true as well.
That was like a 4-minute song.
Just so we could have single takes.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Go in.
That's really fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting sort of process. What is your writing process when you record, like when you recorded your fully produced EP, your new one, Us Versus?
So I've written songs a long time ago, and they kind of just collected. And then I met him, and then we're like, "Ooh, what can we do with these songs?" And then we just played around with Logic Pro and figured out stuff.
Yeah.
And then there'd just be days where he just takes songs and just noodles around on his guitar, adding stuff to it.
Nice.
So yeah, it was just playing and for fun. And then we like, I kind of like this. This is gonna stick. Yeah, it's sticking. This is gonna be an album.
Nice. That's really cool. So it's like a sort of collective type writing process.
Yeah.
I think definitely Vina definitely comes with the melodies and chord structures for these songs that you already had sort of written.
Yeah.
There's a couple songs that we've written kind of together, just kind of live in what I think a lot of people imagine happens in a band where we sit in a room and it all magically happens. So there's a couple of those, but definitely most of it Vina comes with that, and then I just mess around on a computer, and then we spend hours together just trying out keyboards and whatever inspiration, listen to other music, and really expand on that.
Nice.
Fun.
That's awesome. And now is your drummer involved in that as well, or does he come in afterwards? Yeah.
Yeah. So for sure, like before a song gets recorded, and I just have the chord structure, the melody, lyrics. I'll just play my stuff, and then they figure it out.
Here you go.
And I was like,
One
do what
single
you
take.
want.
One
So
single take.
yeah,
Good luck.
exactly. So Defont will just like play around the drums, try to feel it out. Sometimes he asks what the lyrics are saying, and that changes things.
Yeah.
These two guys don't like listen to lyrics.
Yeah, I'm always surprised because I hear a voice, but I'm like, there are actually words to this, and it actually makes sense.
That sounds pretty.
Butterfly. I like churros.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. The latest song we wrote called Summer Breeze. The first time I played it for Defont and Dav. Well, Dav already heard it, but it was D's first time. And then he's like going on drums, and then when we finished the song, he's like, "That feels like a very sad song. What's it about?" And I was like, "Actually, that's like one of my rare happier songs."
It's like, all right, we're gonna change the drums right now. There we go.
Okay.
We need more ride now. Exactly. We're gonna pick that right up.
Yeah. Let's speed this bad boy right up.
Yeah, I think a lot of these songs also came. We played them live first before we recorded them, right? So
Yeah, that's true.
that oftentimes shapes the songs, and so then you take them back to recording time. It's hard. So they've seen different evolutions from Vina playing it by herself, just her and her guitar, to playing with a band, to then recording it in a studio. And so they've seen different evolutions, and it's kind of cool because I think it's for people that have heard all three, have just noticed a change in the music. But I think that's where D and I kind of shaped the songs, is when we've done it live first, because we played our own parts, came up with our own parts, provided feedback where needed, and then taken to the studio. And a lot of times, because we couldn't necessarily have a real drum kit in, again, the basement, the problem in the basement.
Poor D.
What I did is I tried to replicate a lot of the beats and drums of what he would play in the like live, I would try and replicate that on a computer as best as possible.
Nice.
Yeah.
But definitely would want to get more of a full drum kit on the next EP and album.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you mentioned playing live. Did you play any of those songs at the Palace Theatre?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We did.
yeah, we did.
Very nice segue.
A very nice segue.
Thank you very much.
Well
Ooh,
done.
so impressed, you guys.
He can have He'll get a reward later. You have a
Okay,
cookie.
I'll think about
Thank you.
it. Maybe another compliment.
Just maybe.
What I'm trying to think which songs we did play. Definitely Not Enough we played, and City Sleepwalker.
That's so funny when you said definitely not enough. I
We
was
definitely
like,
didn't play enough
we
songs.
definitely did play. I was like, oh.
Our set was definitely
We
45
played
minutes.
and played, and we were only up there 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and we needed to fill 45. It was a disaster. We did
going,
not
keep
prepare. Start again. Just keep going. Play me off.
No one will notice anything. It's fine. Make them sound so happy. Play them fast. Play them fast.
Yeah. Pick up the feet. There we go.
Come on, hurry up.
Yeah, we played Not Enough,
City Sleepwalker.
City Sleepwalker, and Belief. Oh,
Yeah, I guess we did play all of them, didn't we?
we did. We played After the War as well.
Did we?
Yeah,
Okay.
because that was when no one was listening.
Right.
Oh, no. What? Why were
We mean
there?
the whole
What was it,
crowd
the
was there
Palace?
listening to us.
You were
Sorry?
obviously part of a larger show then, if you're.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the show?
It was Raw Artists.
Okay.
Calgary, I guess, but they have like Canada, Raw Artists
Yep.
Canada as well. So we were part of that. It was really cool. There were visual artists
Nice.
out in the seating area, standing area, all sorts of visual artists, filmmakers as well,
Cool.
photographers, and then on stage, different musicians, all sorts, bands and solo acts.
All styles of music as well.
Rappers,
Yeah.
all styles of
Really?
music. Yeah, it was really cool.
I love those kind of shows, but like you said, like people weren't listening. Like you could actively tell people aren't listening to you, and that's a huge problem with those kinds of things. Because I've been a part of those kinds of shows, and music is a little different. You don't really have to be staring at the band to understand what's going on. You can hear it and appreciate it.
Yeah.
But like a video you need to watch, or a
Yeah.
magician you need to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And he's just someone yelling at a crowd, and everyone's like,
With a bunch
"Why
of-
is
with a bunch
that
of cards."
idiot screaming? Like, shut up!"
Pick a card!
Yeah, is this your card? I don't know. I wasn't watching. Okay.
Oh my god!
no,
It's
it
like,
is.
yeah, totally.
I appreciate those kinds of shows and like the idea behind them, but not always the best option.
Yeah, I think we were pretty lucky for the fact of doing music, and we're
Yeah,
also
true.
probably one of the only full bands up there.
Yeah.
Really?
But it was a really cool experience just to play. That stage is massive.
Oh, it's
and,
a great
Yeah.
stage. Yeah.
And to be
It's-
fair, we learned a few things about making a set list because that song After the War was like completely solo act by me after we did like 3 band songs.
Yeah,
So they were like, yeah. And then like the music just ends and I'm still standing there. I'm like, I'm still playing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even if I'm really quiet.
but yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's another thing as well about set lists. You know, like not like
Yeah.
people, the audience that go see a band and stuff like that. A lot of work has gone into the set list. They
Yeah.
don't just randomly pick a song. Right? Okay,
Nope.
let's do this one. You know, on stage. No. It's
Yeah.
all pre-planned and stuff like that. You know, so I guess like your big hits are like the first 2 songs, and then it gets a wee bit like sort of softer, and then you sort of build up to a crescendo type thing at the
So
end. You
true.
know. So a lot of time and effort goes into it,
Unless you're Brian Adams.
unless you're Brian Adams.
He'll just call out a tune and they'll play it like it's been rehearsed. It's crazy.
Bruce Springsteen does that as well, actually.
Oh, he's
With
the
his
boss.
East Street
Classic.
Band.
He's
He's
the
the boss.
boss.
Classic.
Boss, yeah. I'm the boss. Do what I say.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we
cheers.
go. Now we're playing this one again.
1, 2,
again.
3, 4. Make it happy. Make it happy.
What's this song about?
Lyrics?
Ooh, not good.
No, I think you're right with the set list, and I think we've been it's been an interesting journey because I think in bands, a lot of bands play a style of venue, but we've played a lot of coffee shops. We've done the thing with a coffee shop to the thing of playing stages like the Palace, where we played with some backing tracks live and like almost full production because we had some violin backing tracks and things like that.
Nice.
But then we've done the stripped down. We played a Cornerstone actually, which was really really good.
One of our sponsors,
One of our
Yes,
sponsors.
that's
Also,
right.
you mentioned coffee shops. We've got another sponsor.
Rosso.
Rosso Coffee.
Rosso Coffee.
Yeah, so
Congrats.
that's another one that we haven't played yet.
We'll hook you up.
But we'll put it on the list. But yeah, no, I think that's driven a lot of the set list, right? Because depending on the crowd and the place that you're in, you want to change that set list. And
Exactly.
going into the next year, we're definitely going to build for more bigger stages. So from the Palace, go to things like the Palomino and those kind of things, and hopefully dig into some other bigger stages.
So you mentioned backing tracks. Do you run backing tracks off Ableton, or is it Logic you run backing tracks off of?
I should have ran them off Ableton. I ran them off Logic though. I had a laptop on stage, which was not well equipped for that. It worked, but the lead up to that was definitely hit and miss. And we'll probably do more of that though, for sure. Just to have.
Ableton's great, and you would understand it because you're an IT guy. He knows.
Yeah.
He gets computers.
You get
Because
computers.
Ableton's a hard program to figure out if you're not computer savvy.
I think it's okay. I think it's a lot easier than Pro Tools for sure.
Yes, a lot easier than Pro Tools, but it's not the most user friendly if you don't know anything about music or computer technology.
I'd actually
I
probably
would
agree.
say.
The interface is pretty busy. Like,
Yeah,
it's quite a
it-
busy
it's
interface.
not.
There's a lot to
It's
look
an
at.
intimidating interface, or So it's I can understand how people would shy away from it and go, I can do the same thing with this program, but
Yeah, I mean, it just looks completely different from those counterparts like Logic,
Yes.
Cubase, Pro Tools, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it just looks completely different. So that throws people off. But once you sort of get into the nitty gritty of it, it is really user friendly. You know, it's just
Yep.
especially if you're hooking up like a launch pad or anything like
That's
that.
where it's like I love the. I remember using it in university and like Ableton Live, and just the ease of putting a button or a pad or whatever you want to it is the easiest by any software, and
Yeah.
it's great for live stuff for that, for sure. But this time around we just use Logic because that's my bread and butter for software, and it depends what you get used to, right? Like I've just been using Logic for years.
yeah.
So now you give me any new software, especially the older I get, it definitely
I
becomes
don't wanna
harder and
learn
harder to be
Yeah.
like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
to change over. But I'd like to use Ableton Live. Yes,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. We use Logic here. I'm the same. I've used Logic for years. You know, I use Logic and Pro Tools at uni, and I just find Logic is just great, especially for electronic sort of stuff, electronic music production and stuff. But when you want to play it live, I'd maybe tend to just move everything over to Ableton and stuff like that. Just a wee bit more user friendly.
I might have to ask you some questions then, because I'd like to do
Yeah.
that.
We'll talk.
That sounds awesome.
So you've had a bunch of radio plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, CKUA, SJCW,
CJSW.
CGSKUPCW, and you're on 50/50 magazine as well.
Yay.
Do you want to speak to that?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we got some plays. Yeah. Oh man, I'm blanking out for CJSW. Local singles ran by Sammy Parker. Really awesome. We got a couple plays there, and then another one on CKUA. I forget the programming, but Tony something. He gave us a few plays too. It was really awesome. We
Wicked.
weren't expecting any plays, so we're
fantastic.
like, we'll take this. This is awesome.
That's cool.
100%.
Yeah, and I think it's not just like the one song at the one time. Like it's
No,
been different
yeah,
songs at
different
different times, and it's
songs.
kind of cool to see what different radios
Yeah.
pick up as well and what they want to play. So
Yeah.
it's been pretty good. It's been really good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the 50 meg was really like, I really liked their initiative, and that's why I reached out. They support a youth group, the YAG Come Up in Edmonton. So
Right.
it supports Black youth.
Right.
So they have funding initiatives for that group. And so this magazine was hoping to sell a bunch of copies and send their fundraising over to that group.
Wow.
So they were seeking submissions talking about climate change, not just the environmental level, but the political, social level as well. So I sent off the song Belief, the lyrics to that, and they totally liked it and took it. And I was like, yay!
That's awesome.
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's a great community around here with
Definitely.
initiatives like that. Yeah.
It definitely is. Yeah. Well, talking about global warming, have you seen David Attenborough's documentary on Netflix?
No, I have heard about
No, but
this.
we
We are
have
yet
heard
to watch
about
it.
Yes.
Tell us.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Don't
but
ruin
it. Okay.
It's all I'm saying is he's 93, 92 years old. He's an old guy, right?
Betty White's 93 as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. it's his last documentary. It pretty much is.
Well,
his
don't say that.
last. No, he said it himself in the
getting real dark.
Oh my
documentary.
god!
I
Who
know.
knows? Betty
It's
White might
his
take
last
over.
one.
It's his
I
last
gotta
one.
say, I
He's on
can't
the way
see
out.
them making another one.
He's on the way out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yee.
No, he seems healthier than bloody me, Christ, and he's like 93, kicking about.
He's
like,
definitely
he's
healthier than me. I do not look after him. Disaster.
Do you think Betty White could have pulled it off just as well?
Definitely.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, Betty White's amazing.
She is.
I don't think there's
She
not
is.
a more amazing person than Betty White.
Totally.
I'm just curious about seeing a global warming documentary
Narrated
spoken
by,
yeah, narrated
Betty
by,
White. Yeah.
by Betty White.
Right.
That'd be pretty
Oh.
cool.
So good.
That would be
She's
awesome.
so sassy, so
She's
funny and quick. Like she
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It would be.
Be
I wouldn't get any
fire.
information because I'd just be laughing the whole time. I think, which is sad because you obviously want that information to sink
Yeah,
in. You're like,
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
fish are dying. I don't care, Betty White. Whatever.
Reaper's getting cut down.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's hilarious.
That's funny stuff. It's not. It's not. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. It's not funny. So watch David Attenborough's documentary.
serious.
Stop laughing.
David, Betty White. See, it's funny already.
But honestly, it's a fantastic documentary. I've watched it. I've watched it twice actually. It's awesome.
Really?
It's really
What a
fantastic.
nerd.
Oh no, it's
Some
really
of the things
great.
you do just confuse the hell out of me.
No, honestly, I'm serious. Like I love David Attenborough.
I know you
And
do.
I love Louis. Do you know who Louis Theroux is? Louis Theroux.
No.
Oh,
No.
right. You went to Bath. I think
Yes.
Louis Theroux's from Bath.
A
In
bath.
England,
Sorry,
not
it's
just
bath.
having a
Bath.
bath.
It's a bath.
Bath. Yes.
You went to Bath and you went to shower. You know, like,
I had a bath. I don't know what that is.
had a sink wash. It's all right.
I sponge bath. I don't get in.
Yeah.
I don't like to stew in your own juices.
Oh,
I don't like
What kind of
baths.
juices do you have?
I just don't like a bath.
Oh.
It's just like sitting in your own like.
Juices. Oh,
Dry
that's
shampoo
banging.
in for life.
I usually describe it as I was trying not to have to say this, but I'm gonna have to. I don't like baths because it's testicle tea. You're stewing
That's it.
testicle
That's
tea, and I
pretty
don't
big
want to sit in
testicles.
that.
I've got
Have
coffee,
tea.
so dip your nose.
Yeah. Yuck.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. Carry on.
But anyway, yeah. So sorry, back to the documentary.
Louis
It's
Theroux.
and Louis Theroux. It's fantastic. It's really really awesome. It's super informative. It's as a tear
As
jerker.
documentary should.
Yeah, it's a tear jerker. I'll give you that. It's a tear jerker, but it actually there is some
Brilliant.
happy
That's
points as
good.
well. It's fantastic. I think it's like only been out for like a week or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Two
It's
It's,
weeks.
pretty
it's on Netflix, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty new.
Perhaps
Check it out.
tonight.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
something to look forward
Yes.
to.
With wine.
Definitely.
Get your mind off this from this afternoon. We'll have to do something.
from this disaster.
We're coming up on half an hour here.
We are.
We are.
Oh,
So
yes, we are.
we have some follow up, some questions we need
Alright.
to ask.
Do it up.
Where can people find you online?
Oh.
All the places.
all the places.
There's like Apple Music. There is what is it called Spotify, and 150 other
Other streaming
distribution
platforms.
points around the world.
Bandcamp,
Bandcamp is there, which is kind of cool.
Facebook, Instagram, Vina. If they just search Vina After Dark.
So
Oh no!
I knew you were gonna mention that.
No.
so we make these little things here. So I obviously need a picture of the group.
Yes.
And
That's,
I would-
that's a good picture, by the way.
And great
All right,
picture.
dope.
Thank you.
And usually I just go to Google and I'm like the band name.
Yeah.
And I typed in Vine After Dark. And all that comes up when you search Vine After Dark is porn.
And I am not
Just,
joking you.
it
I'm
was
not joking.
all porn. There was
Yeah.
no
One letter
other
off.
option.
Aye, and
And
he came up,
That's
he's like,
quite creative.
What's that? And I was like,
So we'll be
dirty bastard.
I was just scrolling. I was like, that's porn. Like, where is the music? So I did Vine After Dark music. Still porn. All
Still
porn.
porn.
So we're
Yeah.
getting a band name change after this. All right.
No.
One letter off. One letter off, and
Oh
you
my
have
God.
a bad situation
Yeah,
on your hands.
You're just deep into the internet after that.
You are deep.
Thanks
One
for
letter.
So here's another thing we're doing tonight is double checking that. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Change that up. So don't. You're a substitute teacher. Don't tell your students about.
Yes.
I'm in a band. If you want to check me out.
Fine After Dark.
Really, Vina. A. It's an A. Vina. Make sure
Oh,
that's
man,
out there.
that's
Capital A.
crazy.
Capital
Capital
A.
A. Just
Capital
capital
A.
O. Yeah.
Jeez.
So you're on Instagram, Facebook. Are you on TikTok?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Get yourselves on TikTok.
I'm on TikTok. I love it.
Really?
Follow them on TikTok.
What is it about it that you? If we're allowed to ask questions.
100%. We ran out of time. Thanks for being
I
here.
knew it.
You can ask questions. I like that there's more creativity that goes into this particular social media outlet than I think does on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. So it's a visual media, but there's also these audible things that you can use, and they're not necessarily just music, but there's like voiceover stuff you can use, and it's just it's so creative. And if you have to take some time to create an algorithm that works for you, because when you first start, TikTok is just pushing teenage girls dancing. That is all that's apparently their bread and butter. So when I first got it, I was like, not for me, because this is creepy as hell. So I deleted it. Then I got it back on a recommendation from a friend, and they're like, just like take some time and search things you like and like them, and the algorithm changes pretty quickly.
Gotcha.
So I enjoy it for that reason.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, is Reels from Instagram Reels?
No,
Is that-
no.
No.
Reels is just Instagram.
Yeah, I know, but I thought Reels was brought in as a competitor to TikTok.
Oh,
I imagine
that I
because
don't
it
know.
came up pretty recently. I
Yeah.
imagine it is to
Reels.
combat. Yeah, it's like
It's like a new thing on Instagram.
it's
and-
the same thing as TikTok,
Yeah.
just on Instagram.
Gotcha.
Oh,
It is,
cool.
yeah, it's-
Oh,
Because they had Instagram TV. That was, I think,
Yeah.
that was
probably-
different. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
before TikTok, but at the same time, before TikTok blew up. But I imagine it is probably,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
to
To
compete
be
with
fair, a lot of like the people I follow on Instagram have stuff from TikTok
Yeah.
onto their account.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
So
and
if
I
I
love
post a
it.
TikTok video, I
Yeah.
just pop it
Yeah.
over to my Instagram story.
Nice.
I'm not trying to sell anything on
No,
TikTok,
no,
like
no.
myself as
just dancing.
Are you
like-
sure?
I mean, I'm not trying to
$50 an
sell.
hour.
I'm not
Yeah.
trying to sell.
Amongst the 14-year-old girls
Yeah.
dancing, we've got Ben dancing.
Ben turns around.
Yeah.
Smooth tassels.
Nice.
Here's a new magic trick.
Instagram and Facebook are definitely more for like trying to get new clients to see my stuff. TikTok, I think, is just a fun thing, and I would never try because I would never reach my audience on TikTok. It would never happen. So I still use both, but
You get
Well,
some there's a famous bird on TikTok. She's TikTok famous. I think she's from Canada.
if
Or,
you're
like,
on
near
TikTok, you're
Calgary.
TikTok famous. There's no clout. If you tell me you have 1 million followers on TikTok, I don't care.
Really?
Literally everyone is TikTok famous. It's
Jeez.
stupid.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Jeffrey.
Hey Jeff.
I have a
Is that name of your
partner.
computer? No.
She's mom.
I have a partner, Jeff Newman. He's a mentalist, and we've known each other for years. He's a kook, but he's on TikTok, and he is, I would argue, TikTok famous. But I don't think anyone should care because everyone on TikTok has this like the same amount of followers. It's such a quick moving, like you're just constantly scrolling, so people are just following for whatever, and it doesn't really matter.
Right.
I don't think, unless
Has
you're
less value.
verified or are a famous person, like
Yeah.
a standard famous person.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think it matters.
Yeah, it's very because we've talked about this as well about like the drive, especially as a band, to get like Instagram likes or people to follow you. You know, like the whole and like how important it is. Like when I walk up to a venue, and I asked, if they got available slots, or I talked to their promoter or whatever. How important is it for me to have this stuff? And it's it's really interesting how it's changed. Definitely from when I was in the UK doing gigs and in loads of pubs 10 years ago. It has changed vastly now to try and get gigs here, and
For sure.
Social proof is a huge thing.
Yeah,
like I
it
try
really is.
constantly to keep, and I mean over this pandemic, I was kind of crappy at it, but try to keep your Instagram feed relevant and your Facebook feed relevant because
Yeah.
if they search you and they find porn, they're not going to hire you.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
They are on social media,
Yeah.
and they have a good feed. Check them out.
Yeah. Check him out.
but,
Check him out.
Vina.
Vina. We're going to hear some tunes now.
Yes, we are.
Lovely chatting to you. Thanks so much for being here.
thank you for having
I'm
us.
excited
This
to
is
hear
awesome.
your music.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching that full episode of YYC Basement Sessions. We hope you're enjoying all the music.
Yes, please follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that bell to get notifications from us.